This is a continuation of a previous video that I did called Germinating Brassica Seeds. If you want to see that video before you see this one, I'll put a link down below that you can click on that one and watch that before you watch this one. Well, it's been about 9 days since I planted these seeds in the germination box. What was it? Broccoli, Brussels sprouts, and cauliflower. And I think there's some peas in here too. So let me open this up and let's have a look. See how they're doing. Turn this light off here so that we don't get too much. See, now that's cauliflower, broccoli, and Brussels sprouts, as I remember. Now, if you'll notice, remember I only put 1 or 2 seeds in each one of these, and as you can see, you know, not all of them germinated. So you can see, like, there's 2 here with nothing coming up, and there's some that both of them came up, or however many was in there, and here's some over here the same way. So, you know, it looks like, oh, the germination rate looks to me like it's almost, oh, it's hard to say, but maybe 50-50, something like that. Okay, today we're going to take the some of these plants out of here and start to transplant them. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to get some cauliflower. Let me show you that. Okay, so I'm going to take this tray right over here. That's cauliflower, and I'm going to bring it in the other greenhouse. And we're going to plant what we can out of there and bring the rest back that are not germinating. Okay, so this is where these are going to be transplanted. Just a little explanation here. This is 1-inch thick styrofoam, and I've drilled holes in it. And the holes are for these net cups. These are 3-inch, I believe, and as you can see, they fit right in there, and they work great. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to plant the ones that are sprouting really good. There's about 6 of them, 7 of them, something like that. We're going to put them in each one in each of these net cups here. So, for example, there's a pretty good one. There's 2 in here. Now I'm going to just set them in there. Now the reason I want to get them in here, and there's no roots coming out of them yet, is because in the grow box the germination box that I have over there. Now I kind of rambled on here a little bit, but let me explain why I want to get these things out of that grow box. That grow box is designed to keep it warm inside when it's really quite cold outside. It does that with light bulbs. They give off heat and they give off light. Now if the outside temperature gets a little bit warmer, the lights don't come on much at all. So these plants will be seeking that light and they'll get leggy. So I want to get them out of there before they get too leggy, because out here they get sunshine all day long, and if it gets cold at night, it won't bother them. Now, as I mentioned before, there's 2 in some of these right here, and there's 2 in some of these others. Now what I'm going to do is let these grow up a little bit before I pull them out of these little peat pot things. When they're grown up a little bit, then you could separate them and get these 2 separate plants instead of 2 in 1, because these plants grow quite large. They'll be about this tall, and that's another reason for the thick styrofoam. This is 1-inch thick styrofoam, and the reason you want to have 1-inch thick styrofoam instead of a cheaper 1/2-inch or something like that, because these plants, cauliflower and broccoli and Brussels sprouts, they get pretty heavy, so you want to have something that'll float well. So I'll put the rest of these in here. So that'll do it. There's 9 cauliflower pots in there, and we've got 6 empty holes. Now I'll have to cut another sheet like this, but we're going to put all of these out here like this and let them grow without getting leggy. So I'll go get the rest of them, and we'll do the same to the rest of them. Okay, now I got a few of the broccoli plants. We're going to put them right up here. Okay, so 6 cauliflower and no, 9 cauliflower and 6 broccoli plants here. Now we've got to do the Brussels sprouts soon, but I've got to cut another board like this to put on this side so that I'll have a place to put them. Well, it's been about 3 days since we transplanted these brassicas in here, and I just wanted to show you how well they have been doing. Now, I've got another piece of styrofoam in here. As I mentioned, I needed to cut some more pieces, and I've got some 3-inch net cups on order, so I'm going to have to wait for those to come in. But let's have a look here and see what we've got planted. Now, as you recall, here in this one right here, these are broccoli plants. All of these here, these 3 rows, 1, 2, 3, and take a look at that, how nicely those things are growing. So you can see just from the last video, the last segment, how well they're growing. Look at that, there's 3 in this one. And if we move over here, this of course is empty because I don't have the net cups yet, that I should have any day now. And look at this one here. This one's got 2 rows of Brussels sprouts right there, and this one's got 3 rows of cauliflower right here. And again, you know, take a look at how much they've grown. Now they're not getting leggy. They would get very leggy in that other grow box because there's no light in there, but in here they're getting quite a bit of sunlight. So I've got quite a bit of cauliflower and broccoli and Brussels sprouts planted, and hopefully, if I've done this right, hopefully I'll get a pretty good harvest. Now later on, what I'm going to have to do is separate the ones where there's 2 or 3 in each pot. I have to separate them out and then plant them in their own pot by themselves, and they'll do fine. Now, these are the leftovers that I haven't got net cups yet for, but we'll get those in a little bit.